Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546, and this time we got Jalin Hyatt. So glad to be back doing these film sessions, but we got Hyatt at the top of the screen here, right at the top of the screen, and I'm just going to get straight to it. I think Jalin Hyatt had some chances to have some catches this past game, but it just didn't line up for him. The offensive line was not a friend of Jalin Hyatt, Tyrod Taylor, Tommy DeVito, or any other offensive player. The offensive line had some struggles today, so let's just draw out this route. Jalin Hyatt is going to kind of run, and excuse my line, but he's going to kind of run a deep end, and he's going to sit there. And I think with Daniel Jones, he throws this route a lot. He throws this route a ton. I think with Daniel Jones, this might be a completion, but I think Tyrod kind of gets under pressure a little bit, and this is a timing route. You have to have trust in the receiver, and let's just watch him run it. First off, he gets up the field extremely fast. Turns around, boom, sent right there. The ball is supposed to be right there. But as you can see, he was supposed to get the ball right here. It should be in his chest right here as a timing route. But Tyrod has to escape pressure because you got someone who has no business playing tackle, playing right tackle. So Tyrod has to run around, and he doesn't get the ball to Jalin Hyatt here. All right, so this next play, I'm sure some people have seen it. This is a hot topic that maybe this throw could have been made, maybe it could have been made. I've seen Daniel Jones make this throw in games before on these rollouts. Now, not every quarterback can make it. Not every backup quarterback, I'll say, can make it. Not every quarterback is that decent at throwing on the run, but it would have been a tough throw to make. So I don't blame Tyrod at all for not pulling the trigger here, but you can make an argument. So let's watch. They get into this kind of RPO, and Tyrod has the ball. He's on the run. Jalin Hyatt right across your screen. The linebacker is not looking at Jalin Hyatt, which is why you can make an argument that maybe right here, Tyrod could throw the ball here. But Tyrod isn't looking there. He's not looking there. He's looking here. He's looking here. This is probably his first read. And then his second read is Cole Beasley, who he ends up throwing the ball to, who ends up getting laid out. So can't blame Tyrod here. I mean, you got to – he's reading here, and then probably here. So remember that. So Tyrod is coming across the screen, and like I said, the pass should have been there if you're going to throw it, and he can't, so he has to throw this to Cole Beasley, who I'll let you see gets obliterated. So here I'm going to show you Jalin Hyatt. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to make big plays, even though he's not really refined. So what do I mean by that? Jalin Hyatt is here at the top of your screen, and he's going to run basically an up, out, and up. So a double move, and it is so sloppy. It's so sloppy of a route. He does not do a good job at all of selling this as anything other than a deep route. And the corner is playing off of him for a reason. He's giving him that cushion for a reason because he's scared of Jalin Hyatt just, being all close to him and just running by him. So he's lined up off of him. So what Jalin Hyatt probably could have done is not this. So let's just watch this here. Speed release pretty much. He's getting here, and then he's trying to hit a move here, and it's not really that elegant. It's just he kind of just sees the guy, and he's like, I have to find a way to get around him some way. And he actually does a decent job of it. So probably if Tyrod has more time here, or if he's at least looking, he's not looking. But if Tyrod is looking over there, this might be a touchdown if he can fit that throw. Hyatt is a speed demon, so if he can fit that throw somewhere here, because Hyatt might be able to make that distance up and also be cognizant of that safety. So if he can fit that there, maybe. But Hyatt is pretty much open. It's a tough throw to make, but he's pretty much open there. And it's not because he ran some crazy route. He kind of ran into the cover too and wasn't really able to get by him, because if Hyatt is able to, let's see if I can do some artwork here. If Hyatt is able to kind of fake inside and then turn this upfield, or if Hyatt is able to fake outside in a way that actually makes it look like he's running an out route, or he's able to, fake like he's running a curl. Draw this arrow here, which looks awful. If he can fake like he's running a curl and then turn that up, kind of like we saw how Odell Beckham did, which is a tough route to run. But you guys get what I'm saying. If he can get this cornerback to commit to anything that he's doing in this area of the field, that would be a lot more helpful than you just kind of running towards him. And then when you see him there, you're just like, I have to figure out a way to get behind this dude. And it kind of takes too long because by this time, Tyrod has already worked off of him. Because you look here, Tyrod is looking right. He's looking right, and then he's looking straight. And he sees that no one is open. And Tyrod is not, a Pro Bowl quarterback at this point in his career. But he is a vet. But listen, it's just basically that simple. He sees no one's open, so he's going to take off. So let's take a quick break to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Aura.
Got everything. I've got your name, I've got your address. Think I might pay you a visit.
Anyone can find anything on the internet, including your full legal name, your personal email, your home address, phone number, and even your relatives. Just do a Google search for your personal information or someone that you know, name, email, phone number, and see if a people search site shows up. This information is accessible because of data brokers who profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and anyone else that wants to learn more about you. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. You can use my link, aura.com/diggy, to try 2 weeks for free and see how many data brokers are sharing your information. It's also linked in the description. You can also scan the QR code. Aura has already found my information on literally over 100 sites so far. And guess what? If they do take my identity, they'll cover me up to $1 million. They have a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and antivirus software. If you sign up right now with my link, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial. Go to aura.com/diggy to start your free trial now.
Woo-wee! I'm gonna finally be able to get that PS5.
So here you got Jalen Hyatt at the bottom of your screen. He is running a C route, pretty much this route. And what I want him to do here is kind of flatten out this route at the top. Just kind of reading the defense and seeing where everyone is. I want him to flatten this out. But it doesn't matter what he does here because the offensive line lets everyone down again. So I talked about this on Twitter with a couple of people. I'm not worried about guys getting free releases in this system because there's so much motion that I feel like a guy like Hodgins doesn't need motion to get off the line. So Hyatt may need motion to get off the line and he can be used. So anyway, you see Hodgins. I say that because you see Hodgins in motion here to get a free release. And play action here. And you got, I think this is Tommy Sweeney here. And look at this. Jalen Hyatt right here at the top of your screen, or at the bottom left of your screen, if you want to say, is running that C route. Can't throw it here, but you can throw it coming out of this. So by this time, Tommy Sweeney is under pressure because I think this is Ben Bredesen giving up pressure. Tommy Sweeney's under pressure. He's not going to make this throw. He has to make this throw while he's getting hit. But if Jalen Hyatt is able to kind of flatten this route out, because you see the safety is just sitting there instead of running into the safety and then out, I think that gives Tommy Sweeney an easier read. So just watch Hyatt here. He's kind of running into the safety and running the route how it's drawn up instead of what makes sense based on the coverage. So I think he gets more open there. Now, if Tommy Sweeney can get the ball to him or not, that's a whole different story because you got two guys wide open at this point, but he's under pressure. All right, so this is another play with Tommy Sweeney and Jalen Hyatt is here at the bottom of your screen. And again, I just want to see a better release here. He just kind of turns this speed release into a, it's pretty much a speed release, and this is not what you want here, especially when this corner has leverage outside. You know for a fact that he's going to use this sideline. Now, you can't see it on screen, but you know the corner is going to try to use that sideline against you. So you want to get as much space as a receiver as you possibly can before you just kind of just give up that sideline. That's your quarterback's alley to throw you the ball. So let's watch Hyatt here. He just kind of uses this speed release. And yes, he's fast. But if you're on the sideline and there's no avenue to get the ball to you, it doesn't matter how fast you are. So he just gets run out of bounds here. Now, what would I rather him do? I would want him to take a hard step this way and then work his way outside. Or I want him to kind of do anything. Even if it's a hard step this way, back this way, and then outside, which is a very quick release, which the way I'm saying it makes it seem like it might take a long time. But basically, I'll click it out. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. If he's able to just take a hard step inside at any point in his time to sell that route inside, because you can very well take this route up here and turn this into a slant. This could very well be a slant. You have to make it look like a slant. You have to make it look like it could be a curl. But if you're just kind of just going into that speed release, they're expecting Jalen Hyatt to be a guy that's just going to run up the sideline. So that's just a small thing that if he was able to do that on this rep, he probably gets some more separation. So this is the last play I'm going to show you here, and it just goes more about what I said. It's just he just needs some more nuance in the way he runs routes. So I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you have got to use these releases to create separation, because they're expecting him to just run a streak, to just run straight down the field. So anything that you do that puts doubt that you may run that route when you're running it is going to help you. So again, if he pushes this up, turns into a fake slant, and takes this up the sideline, that would be helpful. If he pretty much does anything, I've already covered this with another play that he wasn't able to get open on this sideline. So just was not able to make the most out of this route here, and just kind of just ends up running upfield. Now, you can say that this is probably just a clear out route, which yes, it mostly is a clear out route. But at the same time, I just wanted to see more nuanced route here from Jalen Hyatt, because I'm telling you, even with this much of a cushion, Jalen Hyatt can run by this guy. But you cannot let him have that 10-yard head start and not make him come out of his back pedal. You know, he's coming out of his back pedal, 10 yards into your route, and you're Jalen Hyatt. You're the fastest man on the field. The fastest man on the field should not be having this guy. This guy should be coming out of his back pedal right now. So if he's not out of his back pedal right here, you know, I want to see a double move to make him kind of stick a foot in the ground right around here, to stick that foot in the ground to try to break on that ball, and you re-accelerate and just run right by him, because that's how he scored a lot in college. Is college guys don't know. They don't know how to stay on top of these guys that are this fast. But in the NFL even, if you get this guy to hesitate right here because he doesn't know what route you're running, that's enough time and space for Jalen Hyatt to be right around here, and this guy still be right here. And then you have an avenue to throw this ball. There's a lot of space and opportunity right there for him to make a play. All right, so I'll pause it here. And please don't take this as me saying that I don't think Jalen Hyatt is going to be able to get anything done this year. I just think there's a couple of things he needs to clean up. Of course, some of these things will be cleaned up as far as scheme, like the release package. I think Brian Dable will help him a lot, and Mike Kafka will help him get off the line and get free releases. I think he'll have a lot of free releases. I think he'll have routes that are complements onto someone else's route that get him open down the field, and we know he has hands for days. So I'm not concerned about that. But as far as being an every down receiver, he's not there. just yet. Now, maybe he shows me something better next game, or maybe he shows me something better in week 3 of the season. But right now, he's not there to be that every down wide receiver that some people think he is now. But I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how he looks during this season. I think all of the things that I criticize here, I think are very fixable, and I think it's something that he probably already knows, his receiver coaches know, the offensive coordinators know, and I think he will improve on it. So if he can do this, if he can do any of this stuff, I mean, it's going to be one big play game from him, which is always going to be game changing. So you guys let me know what you're thinking of Jalin Hyatt in his first preseason action. I do think he'll have a big play next week. I think he'll do something bigger next week. I think he's going to be able to get used on a couple of these slant routes and crossers to be able to make big plays after the catch. So I'm not as worried as some people may be after seeing this. But yeah, it's just a lot of things to clean up. But you guys let me know what you're thinking of Hyatt. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.